Thrive Architect or Elementor? Which one is better for you? Now, I've used both extensively. I've used Thrive Architect for the past couple of years because I used to use Elementor and then I wanted to try something new and I just fell in love with Thrive Architect. Now, more recently, I've actually switched to Elementor and there's a pretty huge reason for that. And it kind of happened ever since Automotive bought Thrive themes. Now, I love Thrive themes. I love the whole suite. I think the plugins work great. But ever since they purchased it, there really hasn't been any innovation in it at all. I mean, you can't make custom widgets for it. You can't make you're just limited to what it can do. I think even looking at the website, the last update was a couple months ago, and that update was that they introduced new fonts. I mean, what? Who cares? like, I don't think that was the top thing on everybody's list of like, oh, you know what would be really innovative? Like add more fonts. As if we need more fonts on the web today. There's so many fonts to choose from. So, I started to veer off and I was thinking, I need to try something new. What's something that I could just jump into and understand completely? And I did some research. I was looking at Reddit and a couple other blog posts to see what was out there. And I found that it was just easier for me to go back to Elementor. Like I know there's Breakdance now. I used to be very huge into Beaver Builder, but here was my criteria. I really wanted to find something that would be flexible and able to use with anything and everything I want. I don't want to have to keep changing page builders and keep changing. I mean, the whole point of the page builder is to speed up the process. Like I don't have to hand code stuff anymore. I want the process to be fast. I want to just be able to bang out a website. And the easier it is to use, then the easier it is for me to bang out that website. Now, I'm not doing web design or web development anymore. I'm actually own a coffee company. And I'm going to show you what I did with Thrive. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. So here's the website that I built with Thrive. This is my company. It's called Full Quiver Coffee, and we're actually a tech education / coffee company. My name is Jonathan, if you don't know, and I've been doing websites for about 20 years now. It's been a really long time. I came into WordPress back when Genesis framework was a huge thing, and I've just been doing it ever since. But ever since COVID hit, I kind of had to change life in a bit, but that's a whole nother story. In any case, this is the company, and this website here, honestly, with Thrive, because I'm very familiar with it, I probably built it in about 3-4 hours, I would say. And it has everything that I want and everything that I need. But because I'm running a small business there and I'm not running a service anymore, there were certain things that I needed for the business part of it that I wouldn't necessarily need for a service job. So whether you're an agency or a freelancer and you're doing work for other companies, or if you're just looking to do work for yourself, this is something that you might want to take into consideration. So Thrive, yes, easy. But here's what I wanted to do. I wanted funnels. I wanted sales funnels so that if somebody bought coffee, that they were able to not only buy coffee, but I'd be able to cross sell and upsell different products to them through a funnels. So I found a plugin called Funnel Kit, which is pretty amazing, and it works with Elementor. And I looked at a bunch of other different funnels, and they all work really well with Elementor, but nothing works with Thrive themes. Um, so with that, I was like, okay, so Elementor was top of my list. Then I went to a couple other plugins. I wanted a community plugin. I wanted I just started brainstorming of all the things that I need. This was me planning in my planning phase. And me planning in my planning phase, every time I search for a plugin or something that I would want to do, maybe not now, but maybe in the future, everything kept pointing to Elementor. It was like the plugin that finally was able to integrate with everything. I didn't have to try to find or finagle my way into creating something that would work. Even the automation part of it, like Thrive Architect only is able to connect with a few platforms, not everything. And I was using Go High Level for a lot of stuff. So I couldn't really connect Thrive that great with Go High Level. I had to use some automation. So I was using make.com in order to get that going through. And that's what you kind of see here. So this is a setup with Thrive Automator connecting to make.com in order to get this form to work and add people to my mailing list. Now, here's the other issue with that. Thrive Themes just discontinued Thrive Automator, which is so frustrating because I have so many different automations set up to use Thrive Automator. So now I have to redo everything. So all of these things just prompted me and said, okay, look, I need a solution. I need something that's as easy to use as Thrive, but I also need something that's easily can integrate with anything that I need, any plugin that I need. I love using Go High Level, but I can't. Every time I try to bring a product purchase into Go High Level, there's so much work involved in between it, just trying to sync everything with workflows and automation, that it was just driving me crazy. And I was spending more time trying to figure out how to connect all of these different systems than just doing it and just having everything connect in one. So I ended up settling on Elementor, and I used the UI core theme. So here's the actual redesign. And instead of Thrive, I'm actually using Elementor, and I'm using the UI Core plugin, which turned out to be a great combination. I've used the Astra plugin, which was really cool, but again, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I don't want to spend hours trying to figure out how to use a program, only to realize that that program isn't compatible with anything I might want to do in the future. So UI Core was really, really simple, just to handle my header, footer, and page speed. And then Elementor built all the inside parts of it. So you can see here, this took me a little longer than Thrive Themes because I had to get used to the Elementor layout. And I'm going to show you what both are in just a second. But this is what I've created so far. It's taken me a little longer than what I wanted to, only because I kind of deal with overthinking some things, especially when there's so many options, because Elementor has a lot of options, especially when it comes to WooCommerce and other widgets, I guess, that they have. But this is what I've got so far, and this actually came out really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. There's still some tweaks that I got to do. I still got to edit the footer and do a couple other tweaks to it. But other than that, this was Elementor, and I'm loving it because it's actually working with everything that I need. So let me show you the back end so we can check it. All right, I hid my face so you could kind of see the back end a little better. So this is Thrive Architect, and this is just super easy. What I really like about this is the fact that the inline text editing is really just intuitive. I just click what I want to edit. If I want to make it bold, italic, I have all the information here for what I want to do with this content. I can even make it dynamic content just with this source here. Really easy to find, really easy to use. All of your settings, and I'm just going to go over the content part because that's mainly what we're going to be using on websites anyway. The buttons are all similar, all the options are similar, so we'll just do the content for right now. So I have the title here. It's an H1. I can edit it. I have my main options right here. Real simple color. I could change the font. I can make it a gradient. I have the formatting here as well, but I do like the option that I have all the formatting right here. I also have layout and position, which is all in one column, and I can go down and change whatever I need. Now, here's what I really like. If I'm on layout and position here and I go to edit this content, it stays on layout and position. So if I want to edit, let's say, the padding and the margin for everything, I would just click, this is 10, I would click this is 30, and then I can drag and change it. I don't have to click this, re-click everything, go here, go there, the whole nine. Columns are super, super easy. If I want to add something, right, this little plus down right here, I could just say, hey, add a new block or add some columns. Really easy, really intuitive. It's not overthinking. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel to try and figure out how this works. This is why I like Thrive so much. Now, the only thing that Thrive didn't do is it's just not innovative. I can't do certain things. It's not compatible with other plugins. They haven't really made any new anything for a long time. And I guess if you don't like change, that might be a good thing. Um, but at least give me the option. Let me create some custom widgets over here, some custom blocks, rather than just sticking to whatever it comes with. And I'm pretty sure there's some way to figure it out. I just don't have the time to do that because what I'm trying to do is grow this business. Um, so this is why I like it, and that's why I don't like it. Now, if I go to Elementor, you can see there's just a lot more stuff on the page, right? Like I have these options here. I have all of this stuff here. This is for the responsive design. This is announcements. I really wish they wouldn't do this. It's like, let me just do my work. I don't care what's new. If I wanted to know what was new, I just go to your website. So this kind of annoys me, but I'm picky like that. You have help, a finder, and then preview the changes, which is fine. And then you have save options, which are all there. Now here's what I don't like about this. This is probably why it took me a lot longer. Whenever I click this, yeah, I can inline it, but sometimes it acts a little weird. And I just noticed this. I didn't even notice that before. But a lot of times I'll end up going here because I can't just paste it in here. If I paste it in here, it ends up pasting the HTML tags that it copies over, which is really annoying and stupid, but whatever. But on the left side, you have all of they have content, style, and advanced. So content is all the options for this, which is really just the text and I guess the HTML tag. These are additions because I have some extra plugins here. So these wouldn't come standard with Elementor. But this is what you would deal with. Now, if I wanted to change the sizing on this, I could go to style, and now I have different options here. Um, and this is what I don't like about Elementor is I maybe it's just something I have to get used to, but where's my padding? Where's all the stuff? It's not under style. If it's under typography, I guess you'd have line height, letter spacing, word spacing. I think the usability of Elementor is lacking a little bit. So the learning curve is definitely there because you have to get used to all of this now. All you have is heading, whatever all these things are, style, and they're never consistent. It's never consistent. Like this is a heading that has different styles than, let's say, this, which is a testimonial. So now I have content, image. So it's every widget that you put in here, you're kind of exploring all the options all over again, which is probably why I was just liking Thrive a little better because it's just consistent. A background style, if I want to click around and look at the background style of literally any element, it's going to be there. Like I'm going to see it. But if I'm on Elementor, it's not there. So it's pretty frustrating. So everything has its pros and cons, but I do think Elementor, the only thing that it has going for it, other than the fact that I got to readjust everything and learn how to do this all over again, which I have been doing, it's just taken me a lot longer than I feel like it should have. But in doing all of this, I am realizing that it's not as intuitive as it used to be, but it is flexible. So all this extra stuff that you see here is because the plugin that I have adds it, and you're able to be flexible like that, and you're able to add custom widgets if I wanted to add. I'm calling them widgets. I don't know what they're called, like block lines, whatever they're called. But I'm able to have all of that. If I want to add something, I do have these extra UI core rule, right? Like these are custom designed elements specifically for this theme, which I can just drag and drop. And I love the flexibility in that. With Thrive themes, you can't do that. You get what you get, and that's pretty much it. With Elementor, it has a lot of options. Sometimes it's too many options. And if you're like me and you see all of these things, it's like, well, I want to try everything, but there's just so many. And sometimes it's just too much. So that's everything has its pros and cons. But I'm sticking with this because The funnel kit that I want to use works with Elementor. The community plugin that I want to use works with Elementor. The course platform that I want to use works with Elementor. Like, all of the plugins are compatible with Elementor. Whereas in Thrive themes, they're just absolutely not. Like, nothing is compatible with Thrive themes. And it doesn't look like they're even doing anything to make this better. Like, fonts, I mean, come on, I don't care. Like, that's a dumb feature. I don't know what the pressure to get that done was. Um, let's see what else they're doing. They don't even have that many updates here. It's just a bunch of blog articles, probably for SEO and just to get traffic to sell the products, which I get it. You're a business, but you're not really doing much. And the fact that you canceled Thrive Automator really, I'm sure, pissed off a lot of people because they were using it. So, yeah. So that's really it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I would personally prefer to use Thrive Architect over all of the page builders just because of how simple and intuitive it is. But they're missing so much, and time continues to pass by, and they're just really, really slacking. And ever since that company bought them, it just seems like everything's been kind of downhill. They're just constantly promoting other products within the plugin. It's like, come on, man. Like, let me just build the website that I want to build and keep adding to it so I can keep paying for it and be happy to pay for it because it's so awesome. But it's not turning into that. And Elementor, it's not really the greatest page builder. I'm going to be totally honest. It's not the greatest page builder. Um, but it integrates with everything. Like, I would love for a mix between like Thrive themes and Elementor, and just kind of, they had a baby and then something came out where everything was able to integrate with it, but it was super simple and intuitive as the architect builder was. But it's not, and it is what it is. We're living in this crazy world where we have to pick and choose, and whatever we pick and choose, sometimes we're going to have to stick with it for a long time. So even though there is a learning curve for Elementor, it might be worth just biting the bullet, learn how Elementor works, because at any point in the future, again, whether you're an agency or a business owner, if you want to add something custom to your website and you don't want a whole backend for it, you can add a new widget, and you could just create new widgets for Elementor as you see fit. It integrates with so many other plugins, so many themes, and it's just in the, what's the word? Oh, I was gonna say economy. It's not economy. In the environment of WordPress, there are so many plugins and options you can choose, but there are only a handful of them that are able to be as flexible as you want without having to go into custom coding, hiring developers, and doing all that stuff that you really don't want to spend that extra money on. So if that's the case, then Elementor is definitely the way to go. And if you love Thrive themes, great. It's a great product. It's just not going anywhere. And the way this company is running it, I wouldn't be surprised, because of the lack of updates, if they end up switching things up and either buying another company or combining Seed Prod and Thrive themes into something that they've been trying to create. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on in the back end. I just know it's starting to lose its pizzazz. My fancy word of the day. So choose whichever one you like. I think right now, Elementor is probably the way to go. In the future, that might change, but I hope it doesn't, because I'm trying to run a business and I want the site to be working as best as it can. And right now, that solution is Elementor. So hope this helped. This is Tech Simplified. Like, comment, subscribe. If this helped you out, if this helped you make a decision, if you got any questions, put it in the comments. This is part of Full Quiver Coffee, which is the main company, but we're also an educational resource. So you're going to see more videos like this popping up, and we're going to be having courses put together on Full Quiver Coffee website as well. And if you're a Christian, if you're a believer, yeah, it's for you too, because we're going to be getting into some serious Bible stuff, which is great. But for this channel, enjoy the tech stuff. I'll be doing more videos like this in the future, and I hope this helped. God bless. Take care.